Hello and welcome to Lights and Clockwork. In a recent video I showed you how you could make an R2D2 in a weekend, complete with the transmitter on a piece of breadboard and the receiver on a bit of prototype board. Well, PCBWay saw this, took interest and asked if I would like to collaborate in converting these into proper PCBs, so of course I said yes. Okay, so the first to do is over to PCBWay and make an account. If you've not already got an account, please use my link below, or you can just click on this QR code. By doing so, you'll get $5 towards your account for your first order. Okay, so the next step is to actually upload our Gerber files. So I'm just going to press the Upload Gerber, Add Gerber File. I'm just going to choose my first one, press Open. And very quickly it shows us what our board's going to look like, so we can get a feel for it already. Now there's a lot of details down here, and on the whole I don't tend to worry too much about it. My key thing is I come down, what colour do I actually want my board to be? So in which case I want it to be black. I'm going to leave the silk screen as white. I can come back up and just look at how many quantities do I want. Do I want 5, 10, however many we need? And that's really it. I think the rest of it takes care of itself. I'm quite happy with the default. Popping over to here, I can then sort of say, I can see it's going to take 3 to 4 days to actually make, costing just $5. So for $10 for both circuit boards, they can be done really quite quickly. And I can just press Save to Cart. Yes, of course I agree. And then the next step would be to add the other circuit board for the transmitter. I can now quickly upload the second one. Final step is to click on Proceed to Checkout, where you can sort of choose the postage that you want and your payment. So do check out the postage very carefully, some might be more appropriate and suitable for you. One of the things I really like about PCBWay is I can track the order from start to finish, going through the whole fabrication process, seeing where it's up to, what percentage it's complete, and then of course it's got good tracking and shipping until it then arrives at your house ready for making. Okay, just a few days later I now have my delivery from PCBWay and I have a couple of the boards in my hand, and I am extremely pleased with the quality and results of these. So the next step is over to the workbench and start building the actual boards. So there we go, one completed PCB, and I would say that's a lot quicker than messing about cutting jump wires and trying to make them just fit and fin through the breadboard. So now the next thing is, did I make any mistakes and does this work? Okay, so I've powered it up, let's have a quick check. So there's the dome motor. Sound. Oh. Okay, so we are now fully working from the nice new PCB. So the next step is to go from my prototype board to the nice little PCB. Okay, so I've got all the parts lined up, time to get soldering the second part. So now I've got both PCBs all fully soldered up. Last thing to do is to actually test, make sure they work together. So I've got the new controller in my hand, the new PCB boards in the little R2. There we go. Okay, now we could stop there. We've got our PCBs made, fully soldered, all working, but I did say I wanted to modify the code. So let's take a closer look at that. The reason I really want to modify the code is because now I've got this LED and a speaker on here, so I want to give it some user feedback to show that it's actually started up, making sure the Wi-Fi's are talking to each other. So for that I'm going to add two new pins, which is the speaker, which is attached to D2, and the LED, which is attached to D0. I need to come down into our setup, and I'm just going to, where it says setting the pin modes, I'm now just going to say the pin mode speaker is an output and LED one is an output. Now I'm actually going to flick these round a little bit. I should have really established these prior to setting up the Wi-Fi, so I'll leave that, we'll put that just there. So if we're setting all the pins to what mode they want to be, we're now starting up our serial line. We're saying we're starting the SP, we're starting Wi-Fi, but I also want to flash the LED and make a little sound effect. So I'm going to just put another command out, which is flash the LED, create a function called start flash, and then wait a second. And then I'm also going to do one called play sound. Now these functions don't exist yet. I need to very quickly make those again. So I've got flash LED, play sound. So I'm outside of the setup function, and just before I set up Wi-Fi, I'm just putting this start flash. So basically it's going to loop through 5 times. It's going to turn it on, wait a fifth of a second, turn it off, wait for the second, repeat. So we're going to get 5 flashes when it turns on. That tells us we've actually got to this point of the boot sequence. And the next bit I want to do is just make it play a little sound through the buzzer. So just below this, again coming outside the start flash, so I'm just creating a little tone. It's just going to make a tone. If you want to know more about this, I've got on the video, I'll put a link below to the other video, and it'll play a little tune, come back up, and then we know everything has started. Now the one last thing I want to change the code is if it doesn't connect to Wi-Fi is an error flashing. So at the very beginning I added this little function called RX connection equals false. So is it connected? It's false. So I'm going to come down to just check on this. We've got this on data sent RX connection equals true. If it failed, I'm setting this boolean to be false. So inside our main loop, just after this bit, I can add a little bit more code, which is just going to say if it's true, then great, we turn the LEDs on. So if we did have a connection, LEDs just turned on, it'll be on all the time. However, if it's not, we're going to do this error flash function. So we're going to have to just very quickly write that as well. So again, I can put this just here. It doesn't really matter where they go in a C file. So I'm saying error flash. At this point, we're just going to flash twice. So do 2 loops, turn it on, turn it off, and we're just going to wait a tenth of a second. So it's quite a frantic flash, just like we get with Bluetooth. So let's just copy this across to the board. Okay, so it's now copied across. There's the little tune. And there's the LED flicking because it's not connected. So if I go and turn over the little droid, we should see that change. There we go, it is now solid. If I turn it off, it goes back to flashing. Simple as that. So we've now got our transmitter and receiver well made using proper PCBs. Really only took about 20 minutes or so to actually make the design, maybe another 20 minutes to actually solder up, and these should last years. And what's a bigger advantage is because of the costing, is I've now got a whole bunch more, meaning I can go ahead and make a whole bunch of these little baby droids for basically for lots of other people to play with at the same time, maybe do some droid racing. So as always, if you found any part of this video useful, please remember to like, subscribe, positive comment below, it really does make a difference. And if you do go to PCBWay, remember to use my link below to get your $5 startup voucher. And I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.